Let's take a minute to hear a word from our sponsor for this week's Ag Report, Elite Tire.
Elite Tire and Automotive. Ever have one of those days you just need a little hand? Well, with our remote services, we'll just hop right on it. Get you back on the road quick and easy. With automotive services to cover all your mechanical needs. Need that state inspection done? Well, we can do that too. So roll on in and see a friendly face. Give us a call and we can be right on the spot to assist you. So trust the friendly folks down at Elite Tire and Automotive, 972-775-1055.
Now let's join our host, John Paul Dineen, in the studio with this week's Ag Report.
Folks, welcome to this week's Ag Report. So you may be seeing either on the radio or in the news, newspapers, different stuff like that. It's kind of a fair season. The state fair has been going on. The Heart of Texas Fair has been going on. Other fairs, and you may be seeing different projects that the kids are having. Maybe animal projects, but you may not know there are also ag mechanic projects. It's a very interesting field. I had the opportunity to go to the state fair and talk with a bunch of those kids and award the prizes at the Ag Mechanics fair there, Ag Mechanics show. Really interesting hearing the stories and the ideas that those kids had for their different projects. So today we've got Jake Mullican from the Waxahachie ISD. His kind of specialty is the ag mechanics. I appreciate you joining with us today, and we just want to talk to you a little bit about what that looks like. Maybe we are talking to some parents that saw this and thought, well, you know what, that my child might be interested in that, or maybe it's the other way. Maybe there's some kids that saw this going on or heard it from some friends of theirs that were involved, and they may be going, hey, Mom, Dad, I'd like to get involved. So thanks for joining us, Jake, this morning.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for having me.
So tell us, kind of what maybe what the project scope is. There's a lot of different categories. What are the areas that they can get involved in?
Sure. Well, there's quite a few different areas. I think one of the biggest things is kind of where the ag mechanics derived from, and of course, back in our day and everything, whenever agriculture was going strong in the high schools and stuff, ag mechanics was really the true blue of where FFA and ag started, and that was helping a lot of those people that were going to go into that industry learn how to repair their own equipment and do work on their own facilities. So through ag mechanics, those classes as well as the projects that the students do hands-on involvement in the shop and stuff, they learn basic welding skills. They learn basic carpentry skills, woodworking. They learn the tool ID, the names of the tools. They learn basic wiring. They learn electrical wiring. They learn basic plumbing skills. They also learn some of the basics with like working with concrete. So again, kind of a really cool class where the students are involved with a lot of the stuff that are needed around the households. But again, kind of going back in the day, whenever folks as yourself that are working on the farms and the ranches are doing a lot of the work on their own equipment out in the field, they're at their house and are saving a lot of money and a lot of time waiting on people to come do service on their equipment and that kind of stuff. So it kind of all stems back to those types of roots on the ag mechanics field. And today it's kind of exploded to a lot of different things, but the students are able to take those types of projects and actually construct them either at home or in the shop here at the school, and then take them to some of these different shows and exhibit their work with the people that are participating, with the judges and that kind of stuff, and win awards and scholarships and all that kind of stuff. So some of the scopes of the projects, I mean, there's a lot of different divisions, but there's like the ag machinery and equipment division where students can build equipment that's designed to be hauled behind a tractor. So you have your hay baling equipment. They have the plows, rippers, spraying equipment. We had a student last year that built an arena drag that was really cool, and he ended up winning his class at Houston with it, and ended up doing really well at the Ellis County Youth Expo last year with it. We also have shop equipment classes where students will build like workbenches and shop tables, even students that are building their own presses, hydraulic presses, brakes, stuff like that. They have truck accessories, so there's students that are building bumpers and headache racks and that kind of stuff for their trucks and stuff. You go into like the livestock divisions where they're building entry gates, squeeze chutes, hydraulic squeeze chutes, that kind of stuff that are used for working livestock. And then there's the wildlife division. So we're building hunting blinds, deer blinds, feeders, traps, that kind of stuff that are used in the wildlife industry and that side. And then one of my personal favorites is the outdoor division, the outdoor cooking. So we're building smokers, fire pits, grills, smoker trailers, that kind of stuff. That's really become popular over the last few years, obviously, with that awesome shirt you're rocking right there.
Let's take a break from the Ag Report and hear a word from our sponsor, Scream's Halloween Theme Park. Let's head back to the studio with John Paul Dineen and his interview with WISD Ag instructor Jake Mullican.
And y'all, I believe I saw at the fair and won some prizes for a pretty cool outdoor stove. Would you call it a stove? Had cooking surfaces and a griddle area and a rack and everything.
Yeah, we'd seen some of them floating around on some YouTube videos and stuff like that. So, and that's kind of one of the cool aspects of these projects that the kids do is they can see stuff like this that are kind of floating around out there, and we don't really have a set of plans to go off of. So, the kids make their own. We kind of look at, the different videos and the scope and kind of the relative sizes and stuff like that. And we just kind of go from there, and the kids will start drawing their own plans, whether it's hand drawn on some graph paper to scale, or whether it's computer automated drafting, and kind of get a good idea of what we want the project to look like, the size and everything, and then what all we want on there. And so the kids are involved in every aspect, from the drawing of it, the concept of what they want it to look like, what they want it to actually serve a purpose for at the end. For the end user, and then start fabricating it. But yeah, the stove was really cool. I mean, that thing is huge, and like you said, it's pretty multifunctional. They designed it where it's got 3 tops on top that you can put pots and pans on there and cook. Those tops are removable, so you can drop a 16, a 12, and a 10-inch Dutch oven in there. And makes it seal tight, smoke tight. Then you can rip that entire top off and put grill pieces that we cut with our plasma table as well, and you can grill on top of it. And they also put a sliding rack on the inside, so you can also turn it into oven and cook pizza, or even try to smoke a brisket or something like that in there as well. So, and it was a fun one. The judges really liked it. They ended up winning reserve champion for their division there at Heart of Texas, and they placed really high, I think 3rd in their class there at the state fair. And again, that was going up against some of those more complex and bigger smokers and cookers and stuff like that. So the involvement can be singular. There is one lady or gentleman building a project, or you can do it as a team. There'll be 3, 4, 5 sometimes. Is there a limit to the size of the team? For the competitions, most of them there's 5 is the limit for most of those. So, and like I said, it's just kind of depends on the scope of the project. So we had a student that showed a gate that he built for their ranch there at the house, a little walk-through gate. Did really well with it, and that's pretty much kind of like a one. You could put 2 people on there and make it go a little quicker, and kind of spread out the hours and stuff on it. But a smaller gate like that's pretty good for one person. Whereas some of these larger trailers, the goosenecks, these smoker trailers that we build and stuff like that, we definitely utilize more students, more hands-on, helping to cut down on some of the hours, because we're on deadlines with all of these things. That's pretty much how my year goes. We're working from one deadline to the next.
Right.
We had Heart of Texas State Fair. We have a lot of our stuff that's going to be exhibited at the Texas Country Reporter Festival this Saturday. And we'd love to have people come out and take a look and maybe walk away with something that they really like or want. And then as soon as Monday rolls around, our next deadline is Fort Worth Stock Show, which is going to be in January. So we've got about 3 trailers that we got to get started on rolling. We've got 1 started and 2 more that haven't been started yet. And so we're going to have about 3 months to get those knocked out before Fort Worth rolls around in January.
Right. Well, I appreciate you sharing that, and it's a good point to make, that sometimes these kids are building it for themselves, their parents, their grandparents, but sometimes they're just building it to learn skills and to try and earn a little income. So we would encourage the folks to keep their eyes open in their community when these things come up for sale. It's a good place to invest in those kids. I appreciate you taking time to talk with us today, and hopefully maybe this will spark some interest either in the kids or parents that might have some kids, and they can reach out certainly to the Waxahachie Sun or the WISD or whatever ISD they may be in around the county. I think a lot of different of school have a group, an ag mechanics group of their own that they are working on.
Yes, sir.
Very good. Well, thank you again. We sure appreciate it. Y'all take care now.